Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review and wear test on the new Fenty Beauty concealers. This is the Hydrating Longwear Concealer, se ven así, and Fenty did send these over to me, so thank you so much Fenty. They sent me this gorgeous PR package and I was lucky enough to receive 3 shades. So we're going to swatch all 3 shades to see which one best suits my complexion. I cannot wait to get into this, apply some concealer debajo de los ojitos y a ver cómo nos va, so keep watching. We're going to go ahead and start off. I do want to go ahead and pull up a little bit of information on this product, so let me actually pull that up para ustedes. They did come out with 50 shades. So this is the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Waterproof Concealer. This does retail for $30, and this is a 12-hour hydrating longwear concealer that comes with a wide range of medium coverage shades with a natural second skin finish. The formula is liquid, and some of the highlighted ingredients are prickly pear cactus extract, which has humectants that attract moisture, sodium hyaluronate, which hydrates and conditions, Persian silk tree extract, which targets signs of fatigue around the eyes. This also is cruelty-free and free of parabens. So they sent me over 3 different shades, como les dije. I'm going to swatch all 3 of them. So the first one I have here is 225N. So 225N is described as a light medium neutral undertone. Next up, we're going to go in with 240N, and we're going to just put it right here. So this one is 240N. 240N is also a light medium. Next up we have 260N, which is medium. And we're just gonna put that right there. The formula feels extremely creamy. Y eso me encanta. Okay, so now we have to figure out what is our perfect shade. I'm gonna go in with 260N. I think 260N will be great. So I'm gonna begin applying it on my under eye. But first, actually, we do have the Fenty sponge, and I do want to use it. They did send this over to me as well. You get 2 of these cuties. Okay, perfect. So I think one is for concealer and the other one's for foundation, tal vez. They're so tiny. I went ahead and wet the sponges. I'm really excited for these. I think I'm going to go ahead and use this one, because I like that it has like the tip, the angle. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use the sponge on one side and then we're gonna use a brush on the other side. Okay, so we're gonna be taking 260N. Like I said, I love this doe foot applicator. I just love the way that it's angled. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to apply the concealer aquí. Wow, this is extremely hydrating. Like, just first impressions, it literally feels like you're applying a moisturizer. Yeah, this color is perfect. 260N. I'm curious to see how it'll do with the sponge, porque sometimes when a formula is very hydrating, it can absorb a lot of the product. So far, it's not absorbing the product. It is so hydrating. Esto me encanta. I'm just gonna go in and set with my powder. I'm just using my e.l.f. powder. This is like my tried and true. And I'm going to set everything in place. First impressions, I really love how hydrating it looks. I feel like it looks so good on the complexion. I'm just gonna start to dust some of the product away. Oh yeah, there's literally no cakiness whatsoever. Look how smooth that looks. You can see the difference between having the concealer on with the powder and not having anything on. I will say though, I do have a little dry patch right here. I'm not sure if it's from the powder or from the concealer, so we shall see. I'm gonna see how this side does now that we have the concealer, but you can see the difference. Like, it does make a really good difference. This formula just feels so good. It feels so lightweight, so creamy. This is one of those products that I could see myself just using by itself. Like, literally, I don't need foundation, I'll just use this. So now on this side, I am gonna go ahead and take my brush. I'm just using my House Labs brush. I love the House Labs brush for concealer. It is such a good product. But you guys can see, look how effortlessly this blends. If you do want more so full coverage concealer results, I would definitely go in with a brush. I was impressed with the fact that going in with a sponge didn't absorb too much of the product, so that's always a good thing, because sometimes when you go in with a damp sponge and concealer foundation, it'll absorb too much of the product, pero esto, no. Look at that. Like, look how hydrated that looks. And just fresh. Like, it just gives you like a good fresh face finish. I also think this color 260 is perfection. So now I'm gonna go in and set. And I think I'm just gonna use less powder and set directly on the under eye. And since I'm really enjoying this, what I wanna do is I am gonna go in with the shade 240. Where's the shade 240? 240N. And we are just going to use this in the center of our face just to kind of see what type of dimension we can add to the face. So I'm gonna go down the middle of the face, the bridge of the nose, a little bit right here. Let's see. I also like the fact that this concealer doesn't dry down super fast, so I feel like you do have time for it to like really sink into the skin. It is very hydrating. It just gives you really good hydrating results. But it still gives you really good pigmentation too, which is always a plus. Now, my more challenging area is my nose, because that's where I do have rosacea and texture. And the rosacea tends to kind of come out and be a little bit more noticeable, but it's actually doing pretty good on the nose. The nose is very dry too, and I feel like there is a little bit of dry patches, but not as much as when I go in with some other concealers lately. Because of the dryness, I feel like this is actually doing pretty good with that. So this is the side with the brush, this is the side with the sponge. Like I said, on the side with the sponge, I did notice that there was a little bit of a dry patch right here, and honestly, it's probably my skin, because this side, it looks good. Right now, we finished the concealer, and just first impressions, I really do like how the concealer works. I liked how it worked with either or tool, whether you use a brush or a sponge. Like I said, it just really depends on your preference and what you're building it up to be. I also really like how the concealer applied. The consistency of it is such a lightweight, creamy, very hydrating consistency. And I also like the fact that it easily blends into the skin, so you get really, really good blendability. I feel like this concealer for the under eye is fantastic. And also, like, if you want to spot conceal, if all you want to use is concealer, you don't want to go in with foundation or anything like that, I think this is a great little product to put on. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm going to come back and give you guys my very first impressions on how everything works together, how everything starts to set, because sometimes you need to give things a little bit more time to set. And then we can go ahead and start this wear test, see how the new Fenty Beauty Hydrating Concealer does. So keep watching. Okay, bonitas, ya regresé. Here is the completed look of makeup. Let's go ahead and talk about the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Concealers. So I have them on the skin with my full face of makeup, and honestly, I really love how lightweight and how nicely they set into the skin. I feel like they look really, really good. And even though my skin has been a little bit more on the drier side, I do feel like this concealer gave me that really great hydration. I think overall, it looks really, really good, and it feels so good. That's what I love the most about the new Fenty concealers, is how good they feel on the under eyes. They just feel so hydrating. They're so creamy. They just melt into the skin. So I love that. I also do feel like the shade, where is the shade that I need? Creo que es este. No, creo que es este. Yes. So I do feel like the shade 260N is my perfect match for my complexion. And just to give you guys some reference, I am shade 11 in the Eaze drops. So if you are shade 11 or shade 290 to 300 in the Fenty foundation, that is the shade that I am. So just keep that in mind. I would say the shade 260N is a perfect match for me, but the creaminess in this concealer is everything. Like, I could definitely see myself using this by itself. So now we're gonna go ahead and begin the wear test. Right now it is 8:14 in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and start my day. I am gonna show you guys a natural lighting clip so you guys can see how this looks and how it wears with the natural light hitting it directly. And then of course you guys will see my final thoughts in the day and let you guys know if this is worth the cash or not. So stay tuned, continue watching, you won't want to miss this. So here we have the concealer. As you guys can see, it looks very just natural, very skin-like, very wearable. There is a little bit of creasing, but that's not shocking because I feel like I will crease no matter what. But overall, the concealer looks really nice. It just looks very natural, effortless. Doesn't look heavy at all, and it doesn't feel like I have any concealer on. Like, literally, I feel like my eyes are still getting hydrated. Like, it just feels really, really good. So Eso me gusta. Hey bonitas, ya regresé. It is 7:29 p.m. and I'm ready to talk about the Fenty Beauty concealers. Okay, so así se ve. I feel like by the end of the day, it really like sinks into the skin and just kind of becomes one and melts into the skin. I also appreciate the fact that that little dry patch we had right here is pretty much gone. So I'm happy that everything kind of like melted and hydrated and kept my skin hydrated, especially the under eye, through the day, because that's definitely something I need right now, especially because these dry months are really getting to my skin. Like honestly, I naturally do have oily skin, but I am appreciating a little bit of dewiness on my complexion right now. I feel like this is exactly what I need to just kind of like put everything together. So esto me gusta. I feel like se ve muy bien, and I just feel like it all literally like goes together so beautifully. I feel like if you're looking for a really good hydrating concealer, I think you're really going to enjoy these. It gives you great coverage. It blends so easily. I feel like this is the perfect everyday para todos los días concealer. I also really appreciate the fact that you can use this to spot conceal, so you can use this on any other little areas where you feel like you need a little bit of some coverage, or you want a little bit of coverage with that hydration, because it truly is like the perfect creamy concealer, and it melts in so beautifully. Like this shade in 260N is perfección. Like it's truly such a beautiful shade. It doesn't dry down too fast, which I also really love. I feel like it's just right. So for me, this is definitely a product worth checking out, especially if you do look for hydration in your concealer. I think you will really enjoy this. It's such a lightweight product that just melts into your skin and gives you really beautiful complexion. Now, does it keep me completely crease free? No, I have very creasy under eyes. That just doesn't happen for me. I wish I didn't crease like that, but there is a little bit of creasing, but it's nothing too intense where I'm like, oh, eso es mucho. You know, I feel like it's fine. So that's kind of where we're at. Estoy muy feliz con esto, and I do recommend it to you if you are around my complexion. This is your shade, 260N. But that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this review, because I always want to bring you guys the newest and the latest products, and also give you guys my honest opinions on these and what I think, how they wear. And I think overall it looks really nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and go, because it's about to snow tomorrow, so I need to go get groceries and stock up on some stuff so that I am stocked up if I am snowed in mi casita. So we have to get going. Los veo al rato. If you guys enjoyed watching this video, give it a big thumbs up. Let's me continue doing these videos for you guys. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think of the new Fenty concealer? Díganme down below. Let's start a conversation. I love interacting with you guys. That's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. Y nos vemos pronto, bonitas. Adiós.